If you
Yeah.
were to include one character from Sea of Thieves in Smash, who do you think would be the best pick?
My pirate. Welcome to the official, unofficial Sea of Thieves podcast, a podcast dedicated to Sea of Thieves and other rare games, but mainly Sea of Thieves. But just like last episode, not this time, because this episode is mainly about Nintendo. Yeah, you heard that right, Nintendo. With E3 about to knock at our door, we decided to do a podcast about Nintendo and Microsoft with our predictions for E3. And you are in luck because if you haven't listened to our Microsoft Predictions podcast, you can also do that because that one is already out. So, to help me with this episode, I'm assisted by another Nintendo fan, and this guest is actually on track to become a regular at this podcast.
Hi guys, it's AShinyRay here again. They must be pretty tired of me at this point. I've been on so much. I'm a Sea of Thieves YouTuber and a long-time Xbox, and most importantly, Nintendo fan.
Yeah, well, welcome. Good to have you back. I don't think people are tired of you. People are tired of Uniball, but not you.
Unlucky Uniball.
I think Uniball is tired of me actually.
I can see why, to be honest with you.
Thank you very much. So let's dive right into this subject. Wait, no, before we dive into our E3 predictions for Nintendo, let's give some context to our listeners so they know where we're coming from. So I'm sure most of my subscribers know that I'm a massive Rare fan. And if you know anything about Rare, they used to be super tight to Nintendo. So, logically my roots are there. I actually started out with an SNES as my first ever console, and since then I have bought every Nintendo console except of the Wii U. Because why? Why should I? At the moment, I play a lot of Animal Crossing on my Switch, but I also have an NES, SNES, and GameCube permanently plugged into my television. So yeah, I'm always playing a lot of retro video games alongside some modern ones. So I usually play Sea of Thieves, and then I go back to something more old school. Yeah, some of my favorite Nintendo franchises are obviously Zelda. I also love Metroid, Donkey Kong, Fire Emblem, and I give a lot of love to Pikmin as well. So yeah, that's a bit of my context, my history with the company. So what's your history with Nintendo?
It's going to look like a plastic fan compared to that history, honestly. So basically, my first Nintendo console, and I think may have been my first proper console. I can't really remember. Was the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance SP? So yeah, I'm really young. It wasn't even the original like purple thick brick one. I think my dad brought it back from us when he went away for a long time. He was in the forces, so he was deployed, and I think he got a Game Boy Advance in a raffle or something. And it came with Driver, and I want to say Banjo Kazooie, Grunty's Revenge. This was a really long time ago in terms of me, but I liked it. I played the GBA a lot, and then I really got hooked on Nintendo when I played Pokemon Emerald for the first time. So I borrowed it from a friend, and I completed it. I played it for hundreds of hours, and I liked it that much. I asked for it for my birthday. Parents got it for me, and then the rest is history in that regard. Moved on to Pokemon Pearl, basically every other Pokemon release then, and obviously that was a gateway to like playing the handheld Zelda franchise, handheld Zelda games, Mario games. Yeah, I'm pretty basic when it comes to the franchises. I got the DS, then DSi, then 3DS, all for Pokemon, and I was lucky enough to play things like the Ocarina of Time remake, Majora's Mask, A Link Between Worlds as well. I played a lot of Wii, and I think I really fell in love with Zelda when I played Twilight Princess on there. I know the Wii version was a bit iffy because the motion controls, but as a kid, I didn't really care that much. Played Resident Evil 4 on there as well, which is quite good. Skipped the Wii U for obvious reasons, and shortly after the Switch came out, I got that for Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, essentially.
Sweet. So a little bit different, bit of a handheld background. So that's interesting. So any favorite franchises? What would you say are your favorites from Nintendo?
Pokemon's an easy favorite. Despite what opinions I have on the latest releases, it's always had a very special place in my heart, as is many other people. I really like Zelda as well. The 3D Zeldas mainly. I don't get me wrong, I do like the 2D ones, but the 3D ones are absolutely fantastic games. Mario's a staple for me as well, and Animal Crossing. I forgot to mention. I absolutely loved Wild World. I loved Let's Go to the City. I know some people didn't really like that one. I actually didn't bother picking it up on the 3DS because I was waiting for the Switch version to come out. And obviously I bought that on day one. And I even bought another Switch for my girlfriend and another copy of the game so we can play together. We loved it that much.
Oh, nice, sweet. Yeah, I'm still waiting for my pairs, buddy. Uh,
You're going to take every opportunity to bring that up to me, aren't you?
Yep, I will. And there's a little joke for those who play Animal Crossing. I need my fruit. So yeah, so we're recording this podcast on the 30th of May, so keep that in mind while listening to us. E3 2021 will start at June 12th till June 15th. At this moment, we still don't have exact dates when Nintendo and Microsoft are going to do, their whole spiel. We don't know that exactly yet. So yeah, maybe some stuff will be announced ahead of time, and so we don't know that yet. So please keep that in mind. One of the things that is rumored to be announced just before E3 is actually the Switch Pro. So some sources actually say that we will see this new console, this upgraded Switch version, as early as September, and eventually it will replace the older versions. And it's gonna have 4K support, the rumors say. And yeah, it's just gonna be like a super Switch. That's the information we have now. So do you believe those rumors? Do you think we will get a Switch Pro?
They've been brewing for a long time, like almost a couple of years, I want to say. Especially when we had the mid-gen upgrades with PS4 and Xbox. Yeah, I actually believe them, believe it or not. I think we're going to see a revision, basically because say what you want about the Switch, it's definitely a lot weaker compared to its competition with the PS4 and Xbox One even, and now we've had another generation leap. It's going to be a long time before we get an upgrade, so I imagine they're just going to do a mid-gen upgrade, like we say, and like I said, yeah, 4K or targeting 4K. I think they're probably still going to go for 30 FPS, especially on a handheld, but if it turns out to be like a decent enough upgrade, I will probably pick it up if it exists anyway. But yeah, I believe the rumors, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like I didn't at the beginning because Nintendo never does that. Not significantly. Maybe like the battery life they increase with newer models, but yeah, no big leaps like the other companies do. But now there's so many rumors and people are starting to name dates, and yeah, that usually means that yeah, it might be true. I would want it. Like I don't really feel like Nintendo should, be at the same processing power of the competition, so to say. Like if they just make games that are fun, I'm all for it. But you do see a lot of slowdown with certain games, like Zelda has a lot of pop-up, some frame rates drops that are always occurring at certain locations, and if you stuff too much on your island in Animal Crossing, you also see slowdown. So if there's a new model and they say, all right, so we won't have any pop-ups anymore, or slowdowns with this one, yeah, probably buy it, probably give in. I think if it's true, it would be really smart to promote it alongside with the next Zelda. Like saying, oh, you remember all those trees that just popped out of nowhere? Yeah, you don't have that with the new Zelda if you also buy the Switch Pro. So I know, would be smart if they do it like that. But of course, there's still rumors. We have to keep that in mind. But I hope we see some more of this in the future.
Maybe they'll say if you buy the Switch Pro, you get every single Pokemon in the new games.
Yeah.
Only the new system can support every single Pokemon.
That would be a dick move. I don't think they'll do something like that.
They definitely won't. They'll just split them apart and put them in DLCs, of course.
Yeah, of course, they're like that. And by the new Pokemon Bank, only supported with Nintendo. Never mind. All right, so that's the Switch Pro out of the way. I don't want to focus too much on this because the most exciting part about E3 is, of course, the new game announcements. So yeah, let's start with the big one. Let's start with Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. It's probably going to be titled differently, but we don't know it yet. Obviously, it's not confirmed if we're going to see the new Zelda, but I'd be really surprised if it isn't there. So yeah, are you excited for Breath of the Wild 2?
Yeah, it's going to be a day one buy for me. It took me a while to finish the first one, purely because Sea of Thieves came out shortly after I got my Switch. Haha, shocker. But yeah, I thought it was fantastic. Like, I completed it 100%. I still need to go back and finish the DLCs actually, but yeah, when they announced that, I was really surprised. And it was a few years ago now, but 100% that'll be a day one buy for me. It'll really pad out the end of the year if they do bring it out this year.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. Like maybe they'll do a November release, or I mean that will be pretty cool. I'm just excited to see more of it. I'm just hyped altogether. I was a bit late to the Breath of the Wild party. I bought my Switch in, I think, just around October, I think, of this, no, of last year, sorry. So it was a bit later, but I really enjoyed it. Played it 100%, played the DLC, really loved it. Found all the Korok seeds, believe it or not. That was fun to do. Until the last 10 where, no. But however, there are some disturbing rumors about Breath of the Wild. Like it's very likely that it's going to be the same map. Don't know if you heard about that.
No, I actually didn't hear about that. To be
So
honest.
yeah, so it could be a mistranslation, but they said I think the exact quote was that it's going to be playable in the same Hyrule, and a lot of people interpreted that as the same map. So how do you feel about that?
I'm in two minds because if it is it won't be exactly the same map if this is the case. Don't get me
Mm.
wrong. If it is a very similar map, like I know that they obviously wanted to polish it a lot, but like, what's taken so long if the engine and the map's already there? Okay, that may be a bit ignorant because I'm not a game dev, but what I would expect to see is a similar map with either some extra areas, maybe slightly bigger, or some areas completely changed. I would not expect an entirely new map at all, to be honest with you, and I'm fine with that, to be honest.
Yeah, like I'm fine with it too. I mean, it's Nintendo. It's a good team. Like it's gonna be polished and it's gonna feel new. So if it's the same map, they're probably gonna change it in a way that it still feels fresh. I'm really confident in that. But if I had to choose, yeah, obviously I want a new map because to me, the most fun about Breath of the Wild was the exploring part
Mhm.
and just not knowing what's behind the corner. And if it's the same map, even if it's changed up, you already kind of knew what the next area is going to be. So that element of surprise is gone. And I don't know. I think Breath of the Wild was really powerful of invoking that feeling of exploration. So I do hope that this new one will have the same.
Exactly, yeah. Like I think one of my favorite memories of the game that I really thought, oh shit, this is a fantastic game. Like when I came across the dragon. Sorry, I can't remember the name. He's on the ice mountain, and you need to rescue him. You need to break the crystals on his body to release him. Unless I'm,
Rayquaza?
yeah, Rayquaza, yeah, that one. But I thought, like, how could you like you've hidden this at the top of a mountain? Is it Mount Larana? Sorry, guys, I'm not the biggest like Zelda buff. I love the games, but this was a very long time I played it. I just thought this was fantastic. How can you just hide something like this just as a sort of emergent event? Basically, you just have to stumble across it, and I just thought it was fantastic. So yeah, that's I do agree with in that sense that the exploration and discovering things like that was really fantastic.
Yeah, or when the first time you found that beach-like village, that's totally optional. The quest, even the mainline quest, never brings you there, and then you find it, oh, an entire new village, and there's some shrines around it, and it's like this whole new thing. And that's really nice. And you're not gonna have that with if it's the same map. You already know there's a beach with a village there, so we'll see. We'll see what
Mm.
happens. I do have some expectations that I do think are going to be true. One of them is that you can pet dogs. A lot of people were not happy that you couldn't pet dogs in the game, and it does feel weird. Like even if I play it now, I know I can't pet them, but I still try. I'll still walk up to them and wait for the pop up to show me press A to pet or something like that. And I know the developers know this too, so I'm guessing you can pet dogs. Another expectation I have is that when you looked at the reveal trailer of Breath of the Wild 2, you saw that there's a lot of focus on Link's arm, and I know from original concept of the first game, they were actually trying to figure out how to use his arm as a tool instead of the Chica Slate. So instead of a Chica Slate, it was his magical arm. And I think they finally figured out how to implement it properly. And I think we won't see the Sheikah Slate anymore, or maybe as a map tool. But I think the main focus of traversing the world will be that arm. So I'm just throwing it out. I think that's the main gimmick of the second game.
I think, yeah, that's quite a good prediction, really. I have a bit more outlandish prediction, but I sort of have a slight reasoning for it. So I know a lot of people have wanted a game where you play as Zelda, right? Not Link.
Mm.
The fact that in the
Spirit
trailer,
Tracks.
like I mean, like a 3D game. Well, I know
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
that's sort of 3D graphics, but it's still 2D
Yeah.
style, isn't it? But um, what I mean is that in the trailer, Zelda has that shorter haircut. It's like a bit
Mm.
more of a bob, isn't it? Which would be more practical if you could play as her. I don't know. This could be just random speculation, but maybe at the start of the game you can pick whether you can be Link or Zelda, and they're basically the same people, just with different voice actor. Well, Link doesn't really
Yeah.
have a voice actor, but I don't know. It's definitely out there, and I don't think it's going to happen. It's just the haircut made me think, oh, why has she done that? Just for a different look, or is it going to be a functional thing where, she's back and she's in the world? Like, are we going to have to save her again, or can we play as her?
Yeah, that's a good one. A lot of people are looking really deep into that trailer, and for good reason, right? Like it's very mysterious, but there's also a lot to discover, and it's also the only trailer we have, so obviously people analyze the hell out of it. And yeah, like I've been flirting with that idea in my head, like yeah, that would be cool playing as Zelda, but we'll see. We'll see. I'd be happy either way. Like it doesn't need. I don't need to play as Zelda. Like I don't have that wish, but it would certainly be cool. Wishes I do have. I want it to be dark and I want it to be weird. One of my favorite Zeldas is obviously Majora's Mask. I think they already said that this one is going to be a bit darker than the first one, and I love it when Zelda goes dark. So yeah, make it weird, make it freaky, make me afraid to do certain sections, or please make it so that when I'm done playing that, I also have these weird images still processing in my brain. So I would really love that.
Yeah, I really agree. I think some of the best moments for 3D Zelda is when it goes all dark and weird, like when you go to the bottom of the well in Ocarina of Time.
Mm.
That's really cool. Obviously the Redeads as well. And I don't know, basically the whole of Majora's Mask is really weird and almost sort of macabre. And I think
Hmm.
what we've got from the trailer with presumably Ganondorf as a mummy, I think we're going to lean on that sort of darker side, and I definitely welcome that.
Yeah. You think he's gonna be the big bad?
Yeah, like I don't really
Yeah.
see anyone else unless they do a thing where like in Twilight Prince, in fact most Zelda games, but in Twilight Princess you think it's Zant and then Ganondorf comes back halfway through the game and you're like,
so,
oh, surprise.
so we think it's Ganondorf, and actually it's Vati or something pulling the strings.
I just think it's going to be Ganondorf. I don't think they're going
Yeah,
to pull that
same,
again, which
same. Well,
I'm happy with.
yeah, me too. I'm sure. I want to see a Breath of the Wild incarnation of Ganondorf, so I'm
I pref-
excited for that.
I prefer Ganondorf to Ganon, to be honest with you.
I don't care either way.
I know he's the same person technically, but I think Ganondorf's just a cooler version of him.
Yeah, that's true. I did love the Ganondorf incarnation in Wind Waker. That's one of my favorites. He's really scheming, and you can really tell that he's an intelligent person. So that's something he has over his beast form.
I love it in Twilight Princess when he gets executed and he doesn't die because he's
Mm.
Ganondorf, and he reveals he's got the piece of the Triforce on his hand.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So yeah, excited. We're excited for Zelda. I mean, everybody's excited for Zelda. Like, if you're not, like, why are you even a Nintendo fan? Um,
Just
do,
gatekeeping Nintendo.
to keep it Zelda focused for a bit, do you think we will get more Skyward Sword info?
Yeah, we'll get a little bit. They're going to have like a Zelda part where obviously it's going to be Skyward Sword first, and it's you can do this, and you can get an amiibo for $1,000 or something, and yeah, buy our stuff now, and then it's going to be like, oh, Breath of the Wild's out as well later this year, or maybe even early next year. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the limits of Skyward Sword. I don't know. I don't know if they care that much because they obviously just ported it and shoved the controller out for the anniversary. So I think the big focus is on Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, obviously, but it is smart though because Skyward Sword is releasing July 16th, which is a month after E3. So if you get people hyped for Breath of the Wild 2 and people want their Zelda fix, and you're like, oh yeah, just wait less than a month and there you can play the new Zelda on Switch. Well, new. You get what I'm saying. So it's marketing wise, it's really smart to release Skyward Sword in July. I am a bit fearful because Skyward Sword has a lot of problems, and the trailers we're seeing now from Skyward Sword don't really address it. Except the motion controls. There's an option now to to not have motion controls, so I do like that. But it does need a lot of quality of life improvements, that game. So I really hope we will see like an explanation trailer, like, hey, we changed these light orb quests or this boring stuff that's a bit more streamlined now. So I do hope we'll see that. And if we're not, then I'm like, all right. So basically, this game is only in HD with new control options. I'm still gonna buy it. I'm gonna try it, but I did not finish on the Wii, and there's a reason for that. So I don't know. I hope I can finish it on the Switch. Sounds a bit pessimistic. I still want to play it. If I hope you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, like I have no qualms for people who want to play it. I understand why they're excited. I never played the original, but I can't justify the price just for Skyward Sword, especially when last year we had the Mario collection of Super Mario 3D All Stars. I know there was problems with that limitation. We won't get into that, but that was a really good deal regardless. For someone who hasn't played them before anyway.
Oh yeah.
I know we didn't have Get Galaxy 2, which I was really pissed off about, but oh well.
Yeah,
When they come
but
out,
I think it's a bad deal. Like $60 for lazy ports, where little Timmy's basement can make 64 in widescreen, running at 1080, and Nintendo can't. So I'm like, all right, well, okay.
See, actually, that's a good point because then my perspective has now been skewed that Mario was it was obviously a better deal. I know they were just emulation and ports, but compared to Skyward Sword now, that's obviously a better deal. I don't think it's like if they had Galaxy 2, I'd been like, oh, okay, fair enough. Like, but they didn't, and they're
Yeah.
just emulations. Like for me, I bought it because I'd never played it before. That's on me. Sorry, I'd never played 64 before, and I'd never finished Sunshine, so I just got it in. Guess what? I still haven't played them fully. But when Skyward Sword Skyward Sword HD was announced, I was like, where's Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD? Because
Yeah. It's a good segment. I really want to know your thoughts on those Mario games, but let's keep it E3 focused. Do you think we will get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD?
I want to say no because Nintendo, and they like money, but they also don't like money. But people complain that they re-release stuff, but people always buy it. Like personally, I would buy them because I haven't played Wind Waker, and I last had Twilight Princess on the Wii. If they're going to do it, it's going to be a double pack and it's going to be full price. If I would want them to do it because I want to buy it, but they have this like toxic relationship where like they do this bad stuff and they hide it behind these silly price points, and they're like, yeah, you can't get them anywhere else unless you want to emulate them, and you know how we feel about emulation, but.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, I just went off on a tangent there. I don't think
That's
they're going to
fine.
do it. I don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah, it's easy to go on a tangent when we're discussing these subjects, especially since we never discussed that before. So let's keep it short. I don't think we will see Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on E3, at least not this year. Maybe for the future. I do hope we will get it for the future, but not this E3. It's going to be Breath of the Wild 2, and maybe a little bit of Skyward Sword information. One final question before we go to the other games. What do you think we will see of Breath of the Wild 2? Like, is it going to be a teaser trailer, a gameplay trailer, or just a full-on explanation, like how the new mechanics are going to work?
I would see I think we're going to see like a quite a long segment explaining some new mechanics and then a date. If I had to hedge my bets, it's coming out before the next E3. It's been in the oven for quite a while. And I think Nintendo, especially if we're having a Switch Pro, I think they want to get out as close to that as possible, maybe the same day as that releases. So maybe if the rumors are true, maybe as even early as September. I like it when they release. They reveal games properly and they say, "Oh yeah, it's out in 3 months' time." I love that practice when they do that.
Yeah, that would be really cool, and it would make sense if you combine it with the rumors for Switch Pro. I think New Zelda would really benefit with a upgraded hardware. So yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. So yeah, let's move on because we have a lot of other games to get through. And let's start with Donkey Kong because there's also a lot of rumors about it. I did not expect a new Donkey Kong actually, but we might be getting it. So what are the rumors right now? Well, the rumors are that the Mario Odyssey team, Nintendo EPD, is rumored to make new 2D Donkey Kong. So I'm a big fan. I love the original. I even love the games that Retro is doing. Maybe they're a bit too hard, but I still love them. So Retro is focused on Metroid now, and it's probably going to be a 2D game. And if I was being selfish, I would prefer a 3D one, but I'm happy either way. If we get a new 2D Donkey Kong, I'm still happy. So how do you feel about this?
So yeah, I would like to see a new Donkey Kong game. I haven't got around to buying Tropical Freeze again, but I know that sold like hotcakes on the Switch. Well, all games on the Switch that are first party tend to sell quite well. Besides the point. Yeah, I think based off of the success of that, they might do a 2D one, but I would prefer to see a 3D one like yourself, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Nintendo EPD making the game?
In one mind, I'm like, I want them to do another Mario game or another Mario Odyssey 3D game, 2, whatever you want to call it. But if they can take those skills and apply them to a 3D Donkey Kong game in the same sort of vein, then I would be really happy about that.
Yeah, same. But let's temper our expectations because I don't think we will getting it. Again, these are the rumors, and the rumors also say that it's going to be back to form. Like a lot of people are missing King K. Rool. I'm missing him. I'm missing the rest of the grounds too. So the rumors are pointing in that direction that it's going to be like a real old school DK experience in terms of the cost. So yeah, even though I prefer the 3D game with Donkey Kong as the starring role, I take everything. I love Donkey Kong. If they're faithful to the franchise, yeah, just give me it.
What if, right? What if it's a remake of Donkey Kong 64 with funky mode?
I would love it. I mean, I would really love a remake of that game because it would really benefit of some improvements. Nah, I like it. I like it. The main downside of that game is some bonus barrels are pretty tedious and it's not really streamlined getting all the color collectibles. But aside from that, it's fine. I mean, that's my opinion about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
You have any special wishes for a new Donkey Kong?
Not really. I just want to sort of go with the flow. I don't have a massive investment in the franchise. I know it's heritage and they're good games, but I don't go, oh, I absolutely need a new Donkey Kong. But I would be surprised and pleasantly surprised if he was to make an appearance in some form or another.
Yeah, same. I was happy
And
how Retro handled it, and now that apparently, again, rumors they're saying the Odyssey team is making it. I want to see what they have in store for us.
yeah, that's fair enough. I agree.
The only downside is, segue, that that team is probably not working on Odyssey 2. So how do you feel about that?
As I sort of touched on it before, like I really, really loved Mario Odyssey. There's just something really special about it.
Yeah.
Do I think they're going to do a sequel at all? Possibly, like they did with Galaxy, because Galaxy was fantastic, and so was the sequel. So why can't we have that with Odyssey? In the same sort of vein, though, like I could also see Nintendo doing a Nintendo and doing another 3D Mario platform game that's like a new concept again. And I'm fine with either way, to be honest with you. I just really liked the whole use of Cappy, just like the movement mechanics from that, and how well it looked, and how good it looked, and how well it ran. It just was just a really tight game, in my opinion. So yeah, more 3D Mario is fine with me as long as if it's Odyssey 2 or just in the same sort of vein.
Yeah, like I'm not even the biggest Mario fan, but when I played Odyssey, I'm like, all right, this is my new favorite 3D Mario. Like, it's so well designed. It's so much fun. Like that game you played, and it's just a roller coaster ride of happy hormones. Like it's amazing.
I still
Yeah.
sorry, you go ahead.
Well, I just want to say that they really put an effort in making Mario feel right, and just moving around in the world is such a pleasure. And it would make sense to have a sequel, but if it's not there, like, all right, fine, we'll still have the original.
Yeah, it's round about the right time for a 3D Mario sequel. I don't think it'll release this year. I think that'll be slated for next year in whatever form that is. Um, but yeah, like unless they, I don't know. Yeah, I still think Galaxy's the best, but I would put Odyssey as a close second, in my opinion. So more of
All
that,
right.
please.
All right, I can start a discussion about the best 3D Mario's, but we'll be here forever, so we won't. So in short, we don't really expect a Mario Odyssey 2, especially when you hear the rumors of them working on the next Donkey Kong game. If it were to be, we would like it. What I would have want for a sequel is to make it even more weirder than it already is. Like the first Odyssey game really teased us with that Dark Soul style level, with the dragon the Rune Kingdom, I think it's called.
Yeah,
Yeah, but expand that, like make us really experience those weird kingdoms. I would like that, but all right. Well, we will see. I don't really expect it at the E3.
fair enough.
Other Mario games, we know Mario Golf is coming, so maybe we'll see a bit of that.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw more of that. To be honest with you, in fact, I'd be very surprised if we didn't see it.
Yeah, they already released a trailer that explained the mechanics a little bit more, and actually, I'm probably not gonna get it, but I did really like Toadstool Tour, and it was a really fun game actually. So I'm keeping an eye on it. Probably not gonna get it, but I'm still interested, if that makes sense. I'm sure we'll see some more of the different golf courses, and maybe a new overview trailer of the new mechanics at E3. Release date does it have a release date? I actually didn't write it in my notes. Do you know that?
Not that I've seen. Unless I'm just being willfully ignorant here.
All right. Well, maybe we should do a research a bit more. Either way, let's. If it's not announced yet, they're probably gonna give us a date for Mario Golf at E3. Do you expect other Mario sports games?
Mario Kart 8 Plus Deluxe Switch Pro Edition.
Yeah, maybe like that's a good one actually, because a lot of people see, oh, we might get a Mario Kart 9, but Mario Kart 8 is still selling like hotcakes. I mean, like, why would they even invest in making a new Mario Kart when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still selling really really well? It's still in the top of the charts. So I get that a lot for the people who experience Mario Kart 8. I think they really feel like it's time for a next one. But when you look at it from a business perspective, I'm like, why should he even bother? So I don't know what your opinion about that is.
It comes to a point where, like, I understand why they do it because it just sells like hotcakes. It's marketable, and it's pretty much bundled with every Switch going. But like, it's like the whole GTA thing being repackaged or Skyrim meme. Like, it gets to a point where like, just make a new game because your hardcore fan base want to see more. Is how long ago did Mario Kart 8 come out? Was it 2013, 2014?
I can't remember exactly.
It was a long time
It
ago,
was a
and
while, yeah.
yeah, I get they ported it for Switch because no one bought a Wii U, but like it's just taking the piss a bit. I think just make a new game
Oh, all
now.
right, cool.
Do what I say, corporation, so I can give you my money.
Yeah, I mean, if it's there, I'd be happy for the Mario Kart fans. I'm not really a big Mario Kart fan, actually. If I ever experience a drought of games, I might pick up 8 Deluxe, but that's not gonna happen anytime soon. Maybe a new Mario Party?
Um, I think they might. They updated the last one recently, didn't
Yep,
they?
they
To
did.
allow you to play all the games online. So
Is
in
that a
that,
hint?
no, I don't think so. I think that's a hint setting that there's not going to be one for a little while yet.
Not of a hint of them testing the waters to make a real fine online Mario Party experience.
I mean, it's not like they can't do it. I know Nintendo Switch Online isn't the greatest, but yeah, like I think that's them updating it is saying like, oh, we're just going to do this because we're not going to make one for a little while because in that same vein, like why would they update if they can just sell a new game? Does that make sense? And sort of,
I don't know, test servers maybe and fine tune the next Mario Party.
oh, I mean that's a very good point. I just don't expect to see one so soon, to be honest with you.
All right, would you be excited for a Mario Party if it
Not
was
really.
there?
Not
Yeah.
really, to be honest. Not my sort of thing. The only time I've ever played it is back in the old days on GameCube and 64. Haven't touched it for years, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I played a lot on 64 and GameCube with my buddies, but I'm an adult now. Like we play online, and I play other games online, like Sea of Thieves. So yeah, I if it's there, I'm happy for the Mario Party fans, but we'll just see.
Same.
So yeah, to close it, any other Mario games you might be expecting?
No, I can't think of anything else, to be honest.
Mario Strikers.
I was thinking about Mario Strikers, but I think because golf and tennis have already come out, maybe next year we'll see something like that. But
Yeah.
As it stands, like not at E3 this year.
Indeed, if they're gonna do it, it's not gonna be for this E3 because they're gonna focus on Mario Golf.
That's true.
So yeah, let's move on to another big one, and though it's probably my most anticipated game for E3, Metroid Prime 4. Another big one developed by Retro Studios, and yeah, like I hinted at before, I'm a big fan of Metroid games, and it is hard to be a fan of Metroid. So I really hope Metroid Prime 4 blows everyone away because this franchise does deserve to be just as big as Mario and Zelda, in my opinion. I don't really have that much expectations. If it looks prettier and if it's a Metroid game, like I'm good. I'm good. I hope it's gonna be one planet or one space station. I really like when they do the space stations in the Metroid franchise. And if it's a heavy focus on atmosphere, I'm good. One thing I do want, if it were up to me, like they don't need to do this, but we've been fighting like a lot of the baby Metroids and the first stages of Metroids, but we don't really fight Omega Metroids in 3D that often. So I would like to see more of that evolutionary not evolution, metamorphosis in 3D games. So yeah, and no missable logs. I hate getting on 100% completion on the Metroid Prime games. That's the only downside to those. But yeah, like I'm hyped. Just give me it. How do you feel about it?
I haven't really touched Metroid before. I'll be honest with you. I know that's going to be criminal in your eyes, but
Yeah, it's
yeah,
fine.
I've only played a little bit on the Wii and on the DS. I think it's about time that they at least share something, even if it's just saying, "Oh yeah, it's still in development." Because I know they restarted development. What was it? 3 years ago now? 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think it's two, but probably somebody in the comments will let us know what it is.
Go ahead, let us know. Tell us how plastic fans we are and how badly researched we are. But yeah, I think it would be nice just to say, yeah, we're still doing it, but I would be very surprised again if we saw anything.
Really? You don't think we can get a teaser?
A teaser, yeah, I could say we could see a teaser again, but gameplay, if it's been restarted after 2 years, I guess restarted is a very difficult term because does that mean like we're going back to pre-production, or is it we're just starting from actual development again, or actually we're just deleting a lot of our work and starting from an early point? You know, they're not really specific in what they say.
Well, the feeling I get is just, this studio, wasn't living up to expectations, so we gave it to Retro, and I think Retro just started from scratch. I'm sure they had ideas, right? Because Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Prime 3 ended with a possible hint at the Metroid Prime 4. So they might have ideas what they want the next game to be. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's really tough to say, isn't it? I want it to be there for the sake of all the people waiting for it, because I know people getting tired of waiting.
Of waiting, yeah.
But yeah, for the sake of all those fans, I want it to be there. I just don't necessarily think it will in a big way anyway.
All right. Well, I still think we will see a pretty sizable trailer with some gameplay in it. That's my expectation. And maybe they even, and this is me just wishing again, maybe they even announce a Metroid Prime Trilogy HD that's coming out soon to, sweeten the deal, kind of like they probably gonna do with Zelda. Like, oh, you hyped for the Metroid Prime 4? You want to play Metroid Prime on the Switch? Next month, HD trilogy. Knock yourself out.
Limited time for 1 month.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
I think that would be a good stopgap between the games if it's a little bit further out than they want. It will sell like hotcakes. I don't know why they're not doing it, but
Yeah.
oh, I mean, they might do, obviously, but I don't know why they haven't done it already, especially in the
Well,
age of
well,
trilogy remakes and stuff.
Yeah, one of the past developers said that apparently it's very hard to go back from Metroid Prime 3 and make it for the regular Switch controller. He said, yeah, the program is really hard. It's going to take a year to do that. I'm like, yeah, so just do it. I mean,
Crack
it's
the
going to
whip, do
sell.
it.
It's going to sell. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a bit wishful thinking, but for me, if there is some Metroid news and there is an HD trilogy in the works, yeah, announce it at E3, and people will be happy. I do think we'll see a teaser trailer for Metroid Prime 4 just to give us a bit of an idea what the game is going to be about. Not really that heavy on gameplay yet, but maybe a little bit. And maybe a 2D Metroid announcement from Mercury's team as well. That would be really sweet. So, next game on the list is Bayonetta 3. It's not really my franchise, but people are waiting for it, and I hope it's there for those people.
Yeah, I agree. Not my franchise either. I'm not really personally. I don't see the appeal myself. That's not to say it's a bad game at all. So don't crucify me in the comments. It's not for me, but as like you said, I hope it's there, so people are really happy about that.
All right, next one. The next one is going to be Pokemon, and I was kind of debating if we should discuss this in the podcast because I believe the Pokemon Company kind of handles their own PR, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Sort of. So the IP is really difficult because it's owned three-way by Game Freak, the Pokemon Company, and sorry, is it the Pokemon Company? Sorry, the Pokemon Company itself is owned between Game Freak, Nintendo, and Creatures Inc. So they sort of share a bit of the marketing. Like sometimes Nintendo would be like, "Oh yeah, don't forget Pokemon's coming out," but they tend to, the Pokemon Company itself tends to do the entirety of the marketing. Hence why they
Yes.
don't, it doesn't really appear at E3 or directs per se. They get their own ones.
Yeah. So do you think we're gonna see Pokemon at E3?
Maybe there could be like a little showing just to say, "Oh yeah, Diamond and Pearl remakes are coming out this year," or "Don't forget Legends Arceus exists," or "New update for Pokemon Snap," but nothing major, to be honest with you.
All right. So really quickly then, for those listeners who are interested, what would you want for a Diamond and Pearl remake?
Um, so personally, the art style is not for me. I know it's a big bone of contention, but it's not bad. It's just not what I wanted from a remake. I wanted it to be more like, I don't know, I guess sword and shield sort of style, but not like it's really hard to explain. Basically, I do find it weird that they've gone around and said, "Oh, this is a faithful remake," and they've sort of passed it on to another development team who don't really have any experience developing Pokemon games, which is fine. I don't think they're going to make a bad game, but it's incredibly safe.
Yeah.
Too safe, right? So there's a balance between making a love letter to the original, like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and arguably Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and then turning around and saying, we're going to do everything the same because that's what you asked for. And it's like, we didn't really ask for that. We asked for it to be more like the older remakes, not the exact same game. So at the end of the day, like, I think it's just going to be Diamond and Pearl in 3D with a few quality of life changes, but like nothing new. Like, no, maybe they'll bring out Megas, but they won't add any new ones. Diamond and Dialga and Palkia aren't getting new forms for sure.
Yeah.
I've seen some people taking the copium and saying, "Oh, they're changing, they're transforming on the covers, and they want to keep it faithful to the original covers." But I really don't. I don't see that happening. To be honest
Yeah,
with you,
the covers are the most boring covers ever. They already announced their covers. They already announced the release date. It's going to be November 19th. It's gonna look like the most boring remake ever, with the most boring cover art ever. But I'm probably still gonna buy it because I just want to play a Pokemon game. And I'm not really excited for Sword and Shield, and I kind of like the style of Diamond and Pearl. Like I do actually like that new style of the old school style. Yeah, I do want them to do more with it. Like it probably not. Like it's not that Diamond and Pearl are notorious for not having a lot of fire Pokemon, and if they could change the Pokemon, when they spawn and where they spawn and what types you will get, if they change it up, it would be a lot better. But the way it's looking right now, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna be pretty faithful, and that's gonna hurt the game actually. But I'm still gonna buy it. And
It's
I wish there was a hard mode too, by the way. And I don't think we were gonna get that.
it's not going to hurt the game's sales at all because like the Pokemon Company have proven, or I don't want to say Game Freak because they don't control what goes into the games entirely, but they've proven since X and Y maybe probably after Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire that you don't have to put any effort into the game. You just turn up, put Pokemon on the box, and it sells
Yeah.
like hotcakes. Like look at Sword and Shield. Like I apologize if you like Sword and Shield, you're entitled to your own opinion, but it's not a case of nostalgia because I can go back and play the old games and think there's these games have loads of content in them and they're really well made. Obviously, they all have their flaws. Don't get me wrong, but when you come out and say, "Oh, we can't do all the Pokemon because whatever bullshit you've come up with," and then they've seen, "Oh, yeah, we're not going to learn a lesson. We've put in a DLC. We've done Sword and Shield, and now Diamond and Pearl remakes. We don't even have to make them. We'll just give them to a mobile development team, and they'll sell like hotcakes, and they will because it's got Pokemon on the cover."
Yeah.
It's just I want the bubble to burst on them to teach them a lesson because they need
Yes,
to
same. But
realize like, oh, hang on, we can't just do this anymore. But they don't have to because people are going to buy it anyway. I'm not going to buy the games unless they come out and say, this is Diamond and Pearl remakes. We've got some new megas for you for the starters. Dialga and Palkia are getting new forms. Battle Frontier is going to be there, and there's going to be some improvements from Platinum. I will buy the remakes for full price, fair enough. But if it's just Diamond and Pearl in chibi art style with a few improvements, I'm not paying full price for that, especially when I own Platinum already.
yeah, yes, that's fair enough, and I do get that. I just want to play Pokemon on my Switch.
See, exactly. That's the point. That's not a patch on you, but people want to play Pokemon on a big screen and
Yep.
they want to sit in their nice gaming chair and not have to lounge around on their DS and just play Pokemon and tap buttons and like raise their team and stuff. Fair enough, but like, it gets to a point where the developers are just taking the piss out of their fans, essentially. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I've got such strong opinions on this, but
Oh
it's a
no.
it's a franchise that is very dear to me, and I don't want to see it like this. It's very successful still, but to be honest with you, I love the franchise. I don't love the recent games, to be honest with you. So
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Like I do get where you're coming from and actually share your opinion. But let's move on because I knew this was gonna be a not gonna be a short topic. So, final thing I want to ask you: how do you feel about Pokemon Legends Arceus? Then, and keep it short.
you need to warn me this time. Good, fantastic looking concept, but from what we've seen from the trailers, and we know trailers tend to be final, Sword and Shield. I think it's going to be a game that looks really good, and then you're going to get into it, and everything's going to be chugging. It's going to be empty, and from what I can tell, because this Sinnoh region's in its birthplace, the open world is just going to be devoid of other trainers and players, and it's going to be just a shallow experience, to be honest with you. It's Breath of the Wild, but without all the things that make Breath of the Wild good.
All right, that's a very harsh statement for something we don't really know that much about. Could be. I'm pretty excited. I'm just watching it from a distance. I really love Colosseum. For those who remember what it is, it was a GameCube game where you actually had a different story. Like normally the story in Pokemon games is, oh, there's this team that wants to take over the world, and you want to be the Pokemon master, or you want to be the number one in the Pokemon League. So basically, most mainline Pokemon games are like that. But Colosseum really had a real adventure. You started with a Umbreon and an Espion, if I'm correct, and that was totally new. That's not a grass or fire type. So, and I feel, aside from the starter Pokemon, I really feel that this is their way to make a more story-driven Pokemon game with a doable Pokédex, and yeah, that gets me excited, if I'm being honest.
I mean, fair enough. Like, I'm definitely really harsh to it because from what I've seen, I'm not entirely impressed. But the concept is there. Like, if they want to do like a story or in this case a prequel to flesh out, especially with Arceus, um, that's going to be really good. But you need the substance to support the story. Like Sun and Moon for me, story was quite good, but I just couldn't sit through the entire game because the gameplay wasn't very fun and I was being interrupted all the time.
Yeah.
That's a thing that like stories can be really good in games, and I think it'll be probably quite good in Pokemon Legends. But when the gameplay itself is what I expect it to be anyway, what I think it's going to be like, it won't prop up the story. To be honest with you.
All right. Well, all right. I think we talked enough about Pokemon. We can do this for hours and hours, but we won't because we go to our final segment of the podcast, which is still going to be quite long, and that's about our unrealistic wishes. Because the things we discussed so far, we can kind of expect. Like we can kind of expect the Donkey Kong because of the rumors. Breath of the Wild's probably going to be there. Metroid probably. But let's go to what we want at this E3. And I'll start. And a lot of people are complaining about Nintendo Switch Online, especially about the lack of legacy content. So I hope they will announce Nintendo 64 games for Switch Online. Do you think that's going to happen?
No.
That's why this is an unrealistic wish. I do hope they're gonna announce something like that because even the Wii U they had a virtual console, right? So why could this totally flopped console have something like that and the Switch doesn't have it? Because I'm an adult, I have money, I'm nostalgic for all these past Nintendo games, and I just want to play them on my Switch. And I'm willing to give lots of money to be able to have that convenience and have them stored on the cloud somewhere that I can always access them. And it's just baffling to me why Nintendo is not doing that.
I'll ask you this then: do you pay for a Nintendo Switch Online subscription?
Yeah, I pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Why would they give you more for, providing the bare minimum now?
Oh yeah. So So let me different. Like if they included with the online, that's fine. That would obviously be the best. The best for the consumer. But if they release a virtual console, I'm happy with that too. To pay per game, like $10
Right.
for N64 games or something like that. I'm willing to do that. Yeah, and keep NES and SNES, still as a freebie for people who want to experience that.
Oh, fair enough. In that case, if they want to go ahead and do that, why haven't they? Because people are going to pay money for it. See, we circle back to this topic where like Nintendo does something that's quite scummy and like greedy, and people still pay money for it. And a lot of people, myself, yourself, and lots of other fans, want these specific wishes because they will pay money for it, and Nintendo don't do it. And you're like, you go and do this with like the Mario 3D All Stars collection, but you don't come out with like a clever move and put 64 games on a virtual console, like, and no one will really have a problem with it because they're happy to pay the money for it. Like, it's not a scummy practice, but it'll print money. It really baffles me. And there's obviously a reason they do it. Someone obviously much more clever than me in charge of Nintendo, but from a consumer perspective, I don't understand why they don't do it.
Yeah, but what would be the clever strategy behind it then? Like starve consumers so they buy an All-Star collection?
In that vein, like, yeah, but Super Mario All Stars didn't sell out by any means. There's still physical copies available, even in the UK anyway. But when you turn around and do that, why can't you go ahead and say, "Oh, we're going to release, I don't know, Majora's Mask 64 on the on Nintendo Switch Online or Virtual Console?" Because it will sell. But
Yeah.
why aren't you doing it? Because you're not going to put it in a collection because you're Nintendo. So take the easy route and just emulate it and download it from Virtual Console.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't understand it.
No, same. So hopefully we'll get some announcement on E3. Probably not, but like I said, a realistic wish I do hope we'll get. In the same vein, I'm still waiting for some translations of SNES games. Like there are two. I'm a Fire Emblem fan, by the way, and some Fire Emblem games are Japanese exclusive, and yeah, you can have an translation patch or emulation or something like that, and that's fine. But I want it to be official. So please translate those as NES Fire Emblem games and bring them to NSO. The same with Earthbound. So I'm waiting for it. Nintendo, please bring it. Don't know if you're excited for Fire Emblem.
Not my game, to be honest with
All
you.
right,
Don't.
so I'll take this next segment too, because there's also rumors about a remake of a Fire Emblem game. There's two potential chances because just like the Pokemon franchise, the Fire Emblem games are slowly getting remaked. Like they started with the NES remake for the DS. They did the sequel for that, but that was Japan only. Then they did the last NES game for the 3DS. So naturally, the first SNES game would see a remake. Or people are speculating, no, they're gonna remake Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn because those are more popular. Ike is the main protagonist of the story, and Ike is still a really popular character. So yeah, in the Fire Emblem community, a lot of people are hoping that there's going to be a new Fire Emblem game getting announced, and it's probably going to be a remake. Would you give it a chance if they came with a new Fire Emblem game?
Probably not. I'm a bit of a snob like that.
Mm.
I'm joking. Like, it doesn't. The style and art style itself doesn't really appeal to me, so to speak. I don't know. Like, I'm not really a JRPG fan, even though I like Pokemon. They're just not for me in general. I've never really got on with them that well, to be honest with you. So yeah, call me a swine, call me every name under the sun, but it's not for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fine. I thought I would never like it, and then I just played it, and I got addicted. It's very addicting. I have to say the anime scale is really turned up in the later Fire Emblem games, and I wish they dialed a little bit down. But I still like it. I'm excited. I'm keeping my finger crossed for a potential Fire Emblem announcement. Something else, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for our Paper Mario remakes. Probably not gonna get it. A new Paper Mario game in the vein of the old Paper Mario games. Probably not gonna happen because they kind of ditched the whole, structure they built up on the N64 and GameCube. Again, unrealistic wish. A proper Paper Mario could be a remake of Thousand Year Door, the N64 one. I would like that. Don't know how you feel about that.
Again, like I I haven't really touched Paper Mario before. My sort of focus with Nintendo is like very like specific and almost, I wouldn't say niche because their most popular franchises are the ones I like, but yeah. It's quite sad that these are unrealistic expectations because there's obviously something that people want, and it
Yeah.
just, again, I don't want to circle back to the same point, but yeah, I'd like to see it for your case in this sense, but my unrealistic expectations are a little bit different to yours.
Yeah, that's a good one because I've been talking about my wishes, but let's give a couple of yours.
So I think we've already touched on the Virtual Console, and I would like Game Boy Advance games more so than N64. See, that's funny because we circle back to our experience and nostalgia of the game with
Yeah.
Nintendo consoles, and we obviously want to play what we used to play when we were younger, right? And there's loads of different fans like that. They want GameCube, they want Wii, some people want Wii U. For those of you who bought it, Nintendo DS, etc. You can go on, but I would personally like to see the GBA Pokemon games on the Virtual Console, like they did with the Game Boy versions on 3DS. Minish Cap as well. I want to see on Virtual Console. If they could bring up to DS games, yeah, that'd be great. But I don't think that's very feasible considering dual screen in that. I know they had it on the Wii U though, didn't they? They had some DS games on the Virtual Console. So it's possible, I guess, if you could somehow get that working. But the biggest one I want is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Sky remake, Explorers
Oh
of
yeah,
Sky,
obviously, yeah.
because I absolutely loved Rescue Team DX. I thought it was fantastic, and it's my favorite game on the Switch.
Do you think it's realistic, like with all these Pokemon games coming out or being announced?
If it prints money for the Pokemon Company, yeah, and I think DX obviously did so well that they would commission another remake. It just makes sense. And Shunsoft, who developed the last one, did a fantastic job of it, and I would agree that is the quality I want the remakes to be, like a love letter to the original game. and I think they could do Sky justice as well, or Time and Darkness if they were going to do a double pack or whatever. That's my unrealistic expectation, because the last one only came out last year, so I'd expect a couple more years before the next one to come out. Or just a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon would be good, in my opinion, for the Switch.
All right, interesting. Can't say I'm a fan of those games, but I hope we see something. I don't think it's gonna happen because the focus now is on the other Pokemon games right now. Once those games are out, maybe that's my thoughts on it.
Remember, there was a rumor that they were going to do. I think it was. I want to say it was Gold, Ruby, and was it Golden Ruby? No, it was like Red, Golden Ruby, and Blue, Sapphire, and Silver in like triple packs, like actual physical cartridges. Um, if that was still to be a thing, I guess like that would be like a summer release to tie you over to Diamond and Pearl remakes, considering it's still the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. Like, unrealistic, I know, but it does sound like a Nintendo thing to do. Or sorry, Pokemon Company thing to do. To put like 2 versions but triple packs.
Yeah, could be. Like it's not my franchise. I just have to trust your ideas on this.
And last unrealistic or wish would be Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on Switch.
Oh yeah.
But that's adapting either the original games, which is more likely, or the 3DS remakes. And I both think are very unrealistic. Again, sell like hotcakes because it's Zelda. And it would make sense at the 35th anniversary, but in the same vein, like I just don't think they're going to do it because it's been re-released already. They could just trickle this out for years.
A lot of people are getting hyped for those anniversaries just because Mario did it. I think Nintendo is just like Mario is their big boy, is their Mickey Mouse. They see it as an anniversary that they need to celebrate. I don't think Zelda's gonna get an anniversary. And it's the same with Metroid. Like Metroid is 30 year now, and Donkey Kong is 40 year now. I still think we're going to see Metroid games and Donkey Kong games in the future, and maybe even this year. But they're not going to announce it like it's an anniversary thing. I don't think so.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I sort of expect a bit more from the Pokemon 25th anniversary, considering it's the biggest franchise in the world. But I guess like Diamond and Pearl remakes will. Yeah, they're gonna have to do apparently, and whatever cards they're gonna bring out or what have you, plushies.
All right. So I have a few franchises still on the list. And the first one is Star Fox. I don't really think they're gonna do anything with it. Star Fox has been in the fridge for a very long time. Do you feel different about that?
It's one of those things, like it's been on ice for so long, like it's either staying on ice or it's gonna be revived for the Switch. So it's really difficult to say. Yeah, I'd push that into sort of unrealistic wishes territory. To be honest with you, I don't think that's going to be a thing.
Not the biggest Star Fox fan. I played a couple of games, but yeah, I'm fine with that franchise dying out. Probably gonna get some hate about this, but not the biggest Star Fox fan. But if it's there, I'm happy for the people who are. F-Zero, on the other hand, I really like I think the GameCube game is the last game in the franchise. That was really good, really hard game. I would really like to see another F-Zero game. Probably we're not gonna play it because I don't know, I've got other games that I'm more excited for. But I'd rather see F-Zero make a return than Star Fox.
Yeah, I think it's good to give it a chance, considering like Star Fox it's had a few chances, hasn't it, in the past to sort of come back and never really materialized. Say what you want about the quality of the games and whose fault that is. I think F-Zero would be a better one to try and dredge up, to be honest with you. Dredge up's a bad word. To try and give it another lease of life, to be honest.
Indeed. They said they were not going to do that unless they have a good new idea. And I'm like, yeah, we'll just make some really awesome tracks. It's the high speed racing that's the appealing factor to F-Zero. And as long as you have that, people are interested in it. So that's my opinion, at least. But Nintendo, they want a new gimmick every iteration of every game. So I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I think like the concept itself would translate really well to modern hardware, because you could make some absolutely bonkers tracks using the Switch's hardware. I know it's not like the best in the world, but like as a jump from the GameCube and the sort of ability to make it look prettier and having more crazy tracks, I think you don't need a massive gimmick for that to sell, especially to the sort of cult fans that definitely want to play it, and new fans as well. In that same vein, though, if they were to bring it out now, they'd obviously dumb down the difficulty because they want mass appeal, don't they?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is I think the hardest game on the Switch right now, and that, well, didn't sell all that well, but didn't do all that poorly either, and that's a really hard game. So I don't know.
But it did include the funky mode, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Thank God, actually. And but I feel like if those games were dialed back in difficulty, you could get rid of funky mode, and it would attract a more well, maybe not attract a bigger audience, but would keep a certain audience because they actually finished the game and got a lot of enjoyment out of that and be excited for the next installment. Maybe we'll see what happens with the Donkey Kong franchise. I personally I like challenging games like the original trilogy on the SNES. I really love. Those are challenging too, but I do feel the retro games are too hard, even for someone who does like a challenge.
Yeah, in that sort of vein, like I keep saying that phrase. I'm really sorry about that. In on that topic,
You
I
suck.
I also like difficult games, but not tedious games. Like for instance, Metroid earlier is a bit of tedious knowing where you need to go, but I like things like a bit more like Dark Souls, where it's not very forgiving, but the mechanics are smooth enough to sort of forgive the difficulty. In that sort of
That sort of vein.
don't it's really difficult, honestly. It's really difficult to find new phrases, and it's like I'm writing a video here.
You're telling me like I have to do with my basic English education, right? You're a native speaker. You can be way more creative with your sentences.
Yeah, but I'm of low intelligence, so I'm at a disadvantage here.
All right.
But yeah, we'll nip that in the bud. I like hard games, not tedious games.
Right, gotcha. All right, let's keep it focused on unrealistic wishes too. I also have Kirby and Josie, kind of bundle them together. We already have Kirby games and Josie games on the Switch. They were 2D games. Unrealistic wish. I want a 3D Kirby. I want a 3D Josie. Why not? We've never seen a 3D. Well, not really a 3D Kirby and not really a 3D Josie. So that would be really cool for me. Do I think we're gonna get it? No, but I would want it. How do you feel about Kirby and Josie?
Kirby, it's just sorry. Kirby's just ridiculously like easy. Sorry about that, guys.
That's the part of the appeal. I mean, that's part of the appeal.
It's too easy for it to be enjoyable. It's like I know it's the Kirby appeal. Yeah, not my cup of tea. But Yoshi, however, I'm gonna get so much hate for this because loads of people hated this game compared to the original. But Yoshi's Island DS, I played the shit out of. Like, I got it for my birthday once, and it's quite an easy game until you get to the end and you have to do those challenge levels. And it was so frustrating as a kid. But like, I would love to see another Yoshi's Island. Or like you said, a 3D version as where you play as Yoshi in like that sort of style of Super Mario Odyssey. Or maybe even put him in the next Mario 3D game. Like Yoshi's he's a good character, or maybe we could have a Birdo spin-off, something like that. But yeah, Super Birdo Island.
Oh my god. Yeah, that would be something. Yeah. Now I think Josie deserves his own 3D game. I would really be excited to see that. Yeah. And they have this addictive gameplay, right? Because they're generally not that hard to finish, but the replay value of Josie games is really great because you do want to go for those high scores. I think that's a really addictive mechanic.
Yeah, that's true. I really didn't like Crafted World because it was like Kirby just with different graphics to me. It wasn't like Yoshi's Island. So I played the demo and it was like, what the hell is this? This is so different. This is so different to what I expected, especially coming off the back of the last few Yoshi games. And I was like, nah, just not going to bother with that, especially for 50 quid.
All right. Do you expect Kirby, Josie?
No.
All right. So the last game on the list, I do want to keep it short. The last game on the list is Pikmin 4. A lot of people want a new sequel. Most of us, well, most of the Pikmin fans, I should say, have been waiting since the Pikmin 3 in the Wii U. That's been a really long time ago. When Pikmin 3 was announced for the Switch, I was really happy because I didn't have a Wii U and I do love Pikmin games.
Hmm.
Absolutely love Pikmin 3. It's such an amazing game. If you haven't played it, go for it. If you're slightly interested, there is a demo. I highly recommend people playing the demo. If you don't like it, that's fine, but they are truly something special, and really hope you enjoy it. But do I think there's going to be Pikmin 4? No, because Pikmin 3 did all right. I mean, it's on the Switch, so it did all right, but it's still not really selling all that great. So I don't think we will see a Pikmin 4 just yet.
Well, yeah, I don't think we're going to see a Pikmin 4 just yet, especially when they've just ported Pikmin 3.
Yeah. Did you play Pikmin 3?
No, I played Pikmin. No, which one's on the GameCube? Is it Pikmin 2? Was it
Well,
the first
both.
one?
One and two are on GameCube.
I think it was the first one I played, and I really enjoyed it. Weird game, like weird concepts, but a good concept at that. Yeah, I'm probably going to download the demo now once I've charged my Switch and given you the pairs. But
Yes.
and if it's crap, then you don't get your pairs. Simple as.
All right. Well,
Just to teach you a lesson. I
uh,
don't think Pikmin's going to be at E3 for Nintendo.
yeah, I don't think so. But Niantic is, the guys that did that Pokemon Go game. They're making a Pikmin game now, so we might see a resurgence or explosion in popularity of the franchise.
Pikmin Go.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the name, but they're making a Pikmin game. Yeah,
Pikmin
Niantic.
Go for the mobile. You're gonna have to. You're gonna be Olimar in real life.
Well, yeah, I don't know all that much details about it. Just that they're making it, and if people, if it's addictive, then Pikmin might become popular again.
Fair enough.
I would like that because I'm not interested in Pikmin Go or anything like that. I don't even have a smartphone, by the way. But I am interested in the mainline series. So anything that makes Pikmin popular, I'm all for it. So, any closing statements you wanted to make?
Can we have Crash Bandicoot and Spyro in Smash? Or maybe Master Chief as well. Thank you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, we've not touched on it. I don't really play Smash to be honest with you, but if Crash or Spyro is in it, I'd probably buy it and then the DLC just so I can play as them.
Oh yeah, I want to play Smash Bros with you online. Yeah, we can do that. Actually, I'm excited to try that out because that's the most fun, right? The multiplayer Smash Bros. I played it. I played the story mode and I played a couple of the classic modes, and then I was done with it because you do need your mates to play with it. But yeah, like a Rayman, a new character I would like. Paper Mario, I would like as a character, or anything from Rare. A Conquer, I would like. A Gruntilda, I would like. Will we get it? Probably not. But yeah, it would be cool.
If they did Grand Theft Auto, I could think it was just just
uh,
every single time she attacks.
she would be a great character for Smash, in my opinion. Would be really great. But I think we need to settle with just Banjo, which is great, by the way. Oh, come on, Banjo's in Smash. Like, I'm still so happy about that.
So if you
Yeah,
were to include one character from Sea of Thieves in Smash, who do you think would be the best pick?
my pirate.
Yeah, but that's not fair because you just tipped the stage over. You got to pick someone who's like, of normal size.
Uh, Duke.
Oh, to be fair, Duke would be a good one. I think one of the problems of Sea of Thieves is that, going off topic here, is that they don't have like any majorly iconic characters, really. Maybe the
Yeah.
Gold Hoarder, but yeah, that's something that compared to the rest of Rare's legacy anyway for going into a game for Smash, like someone like Conquer or like Banjo who's already in would be a much better choice than that. But Master Chief should really go in if it's from another Xbox franchise.
It would be so weird. Like, I know some people want it, and I'm not opposed to it, but it would still feel weird to me. Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyways,
Sorry, you can cut this out, but it's going to be like, for what purpose, Master Chief? To give Kirby back their bomb.
all right, that's probably a reference I don't get.
Yeah, definitely cut that out.
All right. So I want to close this podcast with saying that we're both. I can safely say we're both really excited for everything E3. It's just around the corner. I'm just gonna buy some 6 packs of beer. I'm gonna be ready. It's gonna be a great experience. Even if it's gonna suck. Even if it sucks, it's still cool. So yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped, and I'm happy to get it. I'm ready to receive all the new games.
Give me the games, corporations. I have my money ready.
Yep. I mean, we've saved, right? Like, I mean, I've saved a lot of money recently, so I'm happy to spend it all.
Yeah, I should start saving up for my Halo Infinite Series X and the Legendary Edition of Halo.
All right. So, and with that, we've also come to the end of the podcast. So, if you like these discussions with other YouTubers, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. I'm sure this is the first time you heard that, but there's a button underneath this video you can click. It's a thumbs up. It turns blue. It's amazing. It really helps podcast out. So, next one will probably be all about Sea of Thieves again, but I'm really happy that to have indulged myself in other topics for a change. So I would like to thank AShinyRay for again being wonderful. And can you tell our listeners where they can find you?
Yep, you can find my channel on YouTube at AShinyRay. Just pop that in the search bar and you'll see as I said before, mediocre Sea of Thieves channel. I do lore discussions, basically anything Sea of Thieves that pops into my head. And as well, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at AShinyRayquaza. And you'll see my fat pirate as my profile picture. So yeah, come say hi.
Yeah, so definitely do that. Go check him out and give him a like, give him a subscribe. Tell him his videos are really great, but that Captain Blubber is still a little bit better. So thank you very much for listening. You, the listener, are also amazing. Stay safe. Let me know what you are excited for E3, because I am interested in that. Do something daring and have a nice day. Goodbye.
Take care, guys.